Your vibration is made up of how you think, feel, and act. And as we go through a spiritual awakening, people will start to raise their vibration. And that's because we become aware of what we truly are, which is an energetic being that's having a human experience. And as that energetic being, you realize that you're vibrating on frequencies. And then we make that choice to work with our energy to basically raise it up the scale of consciousness. So I'm going to post a photo of the scale of consciousness here. And so we all have a base point vibration that resonates at a certain level. And we can raise that base point up the scale of consciousness. So for example, in my younger days, my base point was quite low on the scale. You know, you can see there's fear at 100, you've got shame at 20, then you've got anger. And so I was operating in these sorts of frequencies. That was my base point. And as you can see up the scale of consciousness, we have love that vibrates at 500. And so love is our natural state of being. When we are born, we come in on the love frequency. So we're naturally high vibrational, but then things happen in life. We give, these situations that happen meanings, and we have traumas, we have all sorts of different things that end up dragging our vibration down into the low vibrational states. And so as we go through the spiritual awakening, we realize that we're an energetic being, we're vibrating on these frequencies, and then we make the choice to do the work on ourselves, like working with our own energy so that we can raise it back up the scale of consciousness, because our natural state of being is actually high. And so the cool thing is about doing this work, as we're raising ourselves back up that scale of consciousness, when we are operating in these higher frequencies, that is when life starts becoming magical. That is when miracles start happening. That is when we become way better at manifesting. Like our manifestations come in so much quicker and easier. And it's just because we are operating in higher frequencies. So in this video, I'm going to give you 9 signs you are raising your vibration to a higher level. Now, the reason I just wanted to make this video is just so it can give you some sort of idea of where you're at in your journey. So the first sign is that you are grateful for what you have. When you operate in these lower frequencies, this is where, people will complain a lot about life. Life's not that great. Life's shit. Life's hard. There's always something they're complaining about. And as we have our spiritual awakenings and we, realize we're an energetic being, we realize, we don't want to be operating in these lower frequencies. That's when we start making these shifts and these changes. We stop complaining. We start, being grateful. We start operating in higher frequencies of gratitude, realizing life is actually good. There's so many great things that happen. We just don't take this time to actually stop and notice it. And so that is one of the signs you're operating in a higher level, is when you are just simply grateful for what you have in your life. The second sign is you are self-aware. So people that haven't had a spiritual awakening tend to not have a lot of self-awareness. And I was one of those people. I had no self-awareness whatsoever, And then after the spiritual awakening, we realize what we truly are. We're this energetic being. We start looking at ourselves more. We start digging into ourselves more. We ask ourselves questions of like, who am I? What excites me? We start becoming aware of the self-limiting beliefs that we have. We start becoming aware, we start doing shadow work, so we become aware of our shadow selves. So as we're doing all these different types of work on ourselves, inner work, shadow work, healing, belief work, we start developing this self-awareness. And it's really beneficial for us to have this self-awareness too. So that's the second sign. The third sign is you live in the present more than the past or future. And that's something I've noticed, like this shift within me, where, a lot of people, including me, it's really easy for our mind to be in the past or future, and you don't actually realize it. And I started using this candle meditation technique. I learned it from another YouTuber, and I've been doing it like daily for, I'm trying to think how long, over a year, maybe a year and a half to 2 years. I'm not really sure how long, but I've been consistently doing it, and I've noticed that I have become way more present to the moment. And being present to the moment is a really good place to live. It's really beneficial for us. The present moment is the only moment we truly do have. And so just by using the candle meditation technique that I've been doing, I have just found myself, like, as I'm going about my day, as I'm going out into the world, I just have these moments where I just become very present. And I'm just there in the moment, observing. So again, I developed that personally through meditation. But that's the third sign that you are raising your vibration to a higher level. The fourth sign is you experience a lot of synchronicities. You start becoming way more in tune with the universe. And I experience synchronicities a lot as well. So synchronicities can be numbers, right? We can be seeing repeating numbers like everywhere we're going. It can be in our face. And ever since I started this YouTube channel, I've been seeing numbers like angel numbers, 1111, 111, 222, 333, 444, 555. I've been seeing a lot of those numbers, but there's one number in particular that's been really in my face, and that's the number 44. And it's even at the point where I think to myself, oh, what's the time? And I look at the time and it'll be like 10:44, and then I think to myself, oh, of course it is, because of how often I'm seeing it. It's like 10:44, 11:44, 2:44. And I look at my phone, 44%, like 44 is in my face. And I had to look up what the number meant, and it was very relevant to me starting up a YouTube channel and starting up an online business. And so I felt that was a message to me from, whether it's, angels or your spirit guides or even your higher self, because they communicate to us and they guide us through synchronicities. And we just, as we raise our vibration, we just become more in tune to that sort of thing. And so synchronicities can also come in other forms as well. Like, it could just be you've got something on your mind, you're thinking about it, you could be puzzled, you could be confused, you could be unsure, and then you jump on your phone and you're scrolling and you see a meme that comes up that's very relevant to what you were just thinking. That is not a coincidence. That's just the universe communicating to you. And so as we raise our vibration, we just become more in tune to these messages from the universe. The fifth sign you're raising your vibration to a higher level is creating healthy boundaries. So we realize we're this energetic being, and that we have to have boundaries in place to protect our energy. Because if we don't have these boundaries, this is when our energy, we can have people leeching onto our energy and draining our energy, or using us and using our energy. And we develop a new standard for ourselves. And so we don't allow people to do that. We don't allow people to drain our energy. We can become very mindful of our energy. We also can develop boundaries with other things like, for example, food. The food that we're putting into our bodies. We become more mindful of that because we know that our body's this vessel that our soul or spirit reside in, and we tend to want to look after it more. So we may have boundaries with food. We just have a new standard for ourselves. The sixth sign is your overall well-being is good and you feel healthy. And that's simply because you're vibrating higher. People that vibrate in low frequencies, especially in fear triggers us to be in survival, which causes stress, which causes illness and disease. When we're not operating in these low frequencies like fear, and we're raising our vibration, and we're operating in high frequencies like love, we don't get sick. We're always going to be feeling good and high vibrational, and like life's just awesome. So that is the sixth sign. The seventh sign is you can better control your emotions. I was someone that really didn't have control of my emotions. I was someone that was very short-tempered, and angry, and I guess I wouldn't say I had emotional intelligence. And that's probably also because I was emotionally abandoned as a kid by my parents as well. So I didn't actually learn, I wasn't taught how to really deal with my emotions in a healthy way. That's something I've had to learn after my spiritual awakening, as well as just by doing like inner work and healing. And as I've been doing that, it's like I've developed that emotional intelligence. Because emotional intelligence is EQ. We've got IQ, which is intellectual intelligence, and then EQ is emotional intelligence. And what I've noticed is humanity lacks emotional intelligence. And so that's something we can develop. And I've noticed that within myself. I've developed this emotional intelligence. I now have more control over my emotions. But part of the reason I have more control over my emotions is because of the healing work that I've done. Because, you know, part of the spiritual awakening is doing inner work and healing, right? And that's what, as I've been healing myself, like, I don't really get angry like I used to. I don't have that short temper anymore. And another thing with healing is like you also learn to observe more. Instead of being triggered and just reacting, you learn to be able to observe and then respond instead. So again, you have better control over your emotions. Number 8 is you feel peaceful and stay away from drama. And I definitely prefer to just live in peace, even if it means by myself. I cannot be bothered with people, especially the types of people that they cause their own problems in their life. Like, they just have these bad habits. Their bad habits cause them to make bad choices. They create all these problems and drama for themselves. And I don't like being dragged into other people's bullshit, especially if they are actually causing it themselves by their own behavior. And so that's why people that are high vibrational, because we want to protect our energy, we value our energy more like currency. You know what I mean? And so we just prefer to kind of stay away from drama, other people's drama, but also we learn how to live a life where we don't have drama in our life. We know how to live a peaceful life. So living a peaceful life and being drama-free is a sign that you have raised your vibration up the scale of consciousness. And the 9th sign is you desire a radical change. There's something within you that just wants a change. It may be moving house, moving location. It may be quitting your job. You may be in a job that you're only in it for the money and it isn't fulfilling, and you desire something more. You may even have a desire to find your passion or purpose in life. You just feel called for some type of change. And so those are the nine signs that you are raising your vibration to a higher level. And that's to give you a bit of an idea of where you're at, because like I said in the beginning of the video, we can actually shift our base point vibration from a low level on the scale of consciousness, and we can shift that base point to be higher, which is what I did for myself. Because I used to operate, in my younger days, I used to operate in these low frequencies, this low vibration. And after doing a bit of work on myself and learning these spiritual ideas and concepts and becoming more mindful of my own energy, I've now raised my base point to a higher vibration. And because I've raised my base point to a higher vibration, what I'm experiencing in my reality is so much better than what I was experiencing when I was operating in these low frequencies. Now, if you want to know how to raise your vibration permanently up the scale of consciousness, I will link a video here that you can watch after this video that will teach you how to do that. If you like this video, smash that like button or write a comment. And if you like this sort of content, then subscribe and hit that bell notification. Peace.